Section 9.3 ellipses. We're still working on standard 16.0, which deals with conic sections. Ellipses is one of the conic sections that we'll be looking at this chapter. And the definition of an ellipse is the set of all points such as the sum of the distance between P and two fixed points called the foci constant. And let me just go through a quick illustration of the definition for an ellipse. We have two foci. We have a focus and a focus. And we have two segments. In this case, the sum of both segments is 11.51. Now we want to be able to keep the sum of both segments to be constant, the same. So if I rotate this and I change the length of both segments by keeping the sum to be the same, then that will be forming an ellipse. And if I collect all of those points, notice that throughout each of the segments changes, but the sum is constant. And that is the actual definition of an ellipse that we'll be using for this chapter. Now, an ellipse, we have two equations. Notice that they look very similar, and they're actually the same. We know that the A value is going to be bigger than B. Sometimes the A value will be here. Sometimes the value will be on the second one. We have vertices, one vertex or two vertices, covertex or covertex and a covertex. And we also have a focus and a focus or two foci. If the bigger value is on the front, right underneath the X, then the ellipse will be standing up. We also have a vertex and a vertex, a covertex and a covertex, and a focus. So go ahead and write this down on your paper, just like I have done on mine. And we also have an equation that you have to memorize. So for now, you have to memorize both equations, and we're going to go throughout the chapter to help you guys memorize it. But we can also find the value of C by using this equation. If you notice, it's very similar to the Pythagorean theorem. Another key item or key concept that you guys have to memorize is that A is the distance from the center to the vertex. B is the distance from the center to the covertex. And C is the distance from the center to the focus. Now let's look at the first example, example number 1. On example number 1, they give you an equation. Notice that the equations above are equal to 1. So we want to be able to make this equal to 1. So we're going to divide it by 100 to make this a 1. So we're going to divide by 100. Once we divide by 100, we can just reduce the fraction. So one number divides 4 and 100. We can divide by 4, gives us 1x squared or just x squared. We can divide by 4, which will give us 25. Now we need to reduce this fraction, so we can divide the top and the bottom by 25. 25 divided by 25 is 1y squared. 100 divided by 25 is 4. It's equal to 1. Now it looks similar to the equation above, the standard form. Our center is h and k. In this case, there's no h or k, so this will be 0, 0. This will be our center. Now, we need to be able to find the value of A. And to make it easier, you can just rewrite this 25 as 5 squared. So the value of A is 5. It's under the X, so we're going to go 5 to the left and to the right because it's under the X. So to the right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to be looking at the y, there's a 4, and we can rewrite it as 2 squared. So the value of B will be 2. So we're going to go up to. Notice that's under the y. So that's why we're going up and down. Up to and down to. From here, we can go and form our circle, or actually, or ellipse. And this is the center. Now, the only thing that we have left is to be able to find the focus. Remember that the longest side is the vertex. The shorter side is the co-vertex. Now, I'm going to find the focus by using the formula. We have a squared minus b squared is equal to c squared. And I'm going to substitute. You want to be able to plug in the biggest value first, so because we're going to subtract. And instead of using 5, I'm going to use the 25 minus 4 is equal to c squared. So 16 is equal to c squared. So that means that c is equal to 4. You just take the square root. So we're going to go to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that'll be my focus. And to the left 4, which is my other focus. Have we done? Now remember that this is how we found our focus, is by using this formula, a squared minus b squared equal to c squared. We substitute, and that will give us the value of c. Remember that your longest side is your vertex, and that's where your focus will be located, on the longest side. Your focus has to be inside the ellipse. The shorter side will be your co-vertex, and then we're done. Let's go and look at example number 2 on the right hand side. We are going to go through the same concept. We want to be able to make it equal to 1 to be able to be standard form. So we're going to divide by 36, divide by 36, and divide by 36. Now we are going to reduce. One number divides 6 and 36. 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1 square. 36 divided by 6 is 6. Plus, one number divides 2 and 36, 2. Y squared, and this will give us 18 equal to 1. Now that standard form, we can find our center. So our center is going to be h and k. In this case will be 0. So now our center is 0, 0. And we need to be able to find the value of a and b. Now notice that these ones are not perfect squares, just like this was 25, so it'll be 5. Square root of 4 will be 2. So we can just estimate the value of under x will be square root of 6 is between square root of 4. We know that the square root of 4 is 2. We know that the square root of 9 is 3. So square root of 6 will be the square root of 6 will be in between, so it'll be a little closer, actually halfway. So let's go and say 2.5 approximation. It's under the x, so we're going to go to the right 2.5 and to the left 2.5. Now we're going to do the same thing with 18. The square of 18, square of 16 is 4. The square of 25 is 5. And so let me write it down. Square of 16 is 4. Square of 25 is 5. So square of 18 is actually closer to 16. So this will be about 4.2, 4.3. So I'm going to go, it's under the y. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4.2. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4.2. I can go and shape my ellipse. Now remember that your longest side is going to be your vertex. The shorter side is going to be your co-vertex. And your focus will be located on your longer side. Now to be able to find your focus or your foci, let's go and say focus, the value of A, or the value of C, we are going to use the same formula, Pythagorean theorem, but in this case it's going to be a minus. And I'm going to substitute. Remember that you want to substitute the value of a squared, and that's going to be the bigger number because we are subtracting. So it'll be 18 minus 6 is equal to c squared. This will give us 12 is equal to c squared. So c is approximately, let's go through the same process. Square of 9 is 3. Square of 16 is 4. So be right in between. So it will be 3.5. I'm going to go up 3.5 and down 3.5. And that'll be your focus. And we are done.